I've run out of fingers counting the number of multinationals setting up here.
What about the 3 companies that announced their plans to launch last week?
I say they're shopping. Me, I'd be looking to sell.
At what price?
More. Much, much more.
I don't know who you are or how you know these things, but one thing I'm sure of, you're in the wrong job. Here, call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to hear more from you.
Are you ready for your big break? The East African, understanding the region.
NTV, turning on your world.
My name is Malcolm Sima. Let's have a look at the headlines. DP President Norbert Mao attacks Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago and his art. High Court to sentence Jacqueline Uwera Nsenga after she was convicted of killing her husband. Also coming up under control, the World Health Organization says that the Ebola epidemic has been contained in Senegal and Nigeria. Details on these and more stories coming up here on NTV at 1. Welcome to NTV at 1. The High Court will today pass sentence on a woman accused of knocking dead her husband, Juvenal Nsenga, in January last year. Jacqueline Uwera was found guilty of murdering her husband, who was a businessman at their home in Bugolobi. And Justice Duncan Gaswaga on Monday ruled that Uwera Nsenga did not knock her husband down accidentally. He said she drove the vehicle with reckless abandon without regard to human life and intended to kill her husband. The judge said Nsenga had also uttered threatening words to her husband. Senior Principal State Attorney Susan Okalan asked for the maximum sentence of death to send a strong message against domestic violence. Defense lawyer Nsubuga Mubiri said to make his submission on the conviction and sentence today. Now, the Inspector General of Police, General Kale Kaihura, has aided war returnees in Moya district in northern Uganda. And Kaihura, who was meeting his counterpart from South Sudan in Moya town, says the police from both Uganda and South Sudan should also investigate what happened, starting with the arrest of Moya LC5 chairman Jimmy Vukoni and a team of officials who had been had been appointed to enumerate the residents there. And the two countries now are preparing to deploy a joint patrol force at the border this afternoon to stop cross-border attacks. Now, the South Sudanese Inspector of Police, General Piang Deng Kwal, says the two governments should avoid sending residents back to their country to avoid creating an enmity between the two countries. And that's a report that we are bringing you right now. It's called for an investigation into recent violence in Moya district. That's the Police General.
With the President of Police, then they should be allowed. Because you see, this is very serious. What happened here was very serious. Not something that you handle, superficially. Then the actual incidents of violence because they were apparently they were, you see, they were grass huts which were burnt here in Uganda by both Ugandan groups, but also groups coming from South Sudan. It will be very unfortunate if we as a government initiate to transport people back to their areas of origin. Is going to really damage. Today we were at the border, crossing points, and you get that it's not like that before. It become now like a ghost area. But I learned it was very busy before the crisis, before these problems. Let us hope that they will go back to their business and they enjoy their life.
And these 7 crossing points, we have decided to organize joint patrolling on either side of our borders. And we also commit ourselves to exchange information and share information and pass information on of any suspicious groups moving across the borders to attack the others.
That's the Moyo South Sudan situation. Now, the President General of the Democratic Party, Norbert Mao, has blasted the media for fueling the conflict between the Lord Mayor, Erias Lukwago, and his deputy, Sulaiman Chidandala. Lukwago recently sacked Chidandala, whom he said he appointed personally, but whom he also accused of going behind his back and conspiring to remove him from his office.
So I wish to warn these Subi elements. Do not target an individual just because of your selfish ambitions. First, start with facts. When you're a whole member of parliament and you go on radio and you become a rumor monger, and you start damaging the political career of someone who has been extremely loyal. That is the Subi politics which made us to lose Kampala. Now, because of the politics of Kawempe, and I understand that Subi group has got some candidate they are trying to promote, and Sulaiman Chidandala has got to be destroyed for their scheme to succeed. Eventually, we may lose Kawempe to the NRM. I asked Sulaiman Chidandala, have you met the Lord Mayor? He said he has been seeking to meet the Lord Mayor. The Lord Mayor does not want to meet him. I think that is a bit of a problem. And personally, I'm tired of that kind of situation. I'd like to advise the Lord Mayor, Erias Lukwago, to get better advisors also. I think what you do and the decisions you make depends on the quality of advice you get.
Government has aided war returnees in Waya district in northern Uganda to help them boost their livelihoods and help them recover and stabilize after a 20-year insurgency by the LRA rebels. We have a report.
The drive, spearheaded by President Museveni, comprised a 10 million shillings donation that is meant to help the residents boost agriculture especially, in addition to their general welfare. The minister without portfolio, Richard Todwong, represented the president in handing over the money and advised the people of Nwea district to avoid using the aid to acquire loans as they are still in a recovery period.
South Sudan is a very big market to northern Uganda. Eastern Congo is a very big market to northern Uganda, and even Kampala, even the market within. You know, after the war, everybody now wanted at least something to settle down with. Food, because we used to rely on relief food, but now you have to produce your own food to sustain your livelihood in your home states. So there was a need to produce food for use by the people, and also part of it to be sold in the neighboring and around the market.
Some of the residents who have already established businesses said they would use the money to improve on their investments, while others promised to start up self-help projects.
I will start some business. I will buy a motorcycle, then I start to make them like a business to buy the
As we are going to plan for the money, we are planning to have a recycle loan within us. So that is the most important thing we are planning to do with the money. We wanted to have a loan that is going to circle within the Border Association.
Well, primary school enrollment is currently very high, and so is the number of children who eventually drop out of school. Reports indicate that over 1 million pupils who enrolled for Primary 1 and the Universal Primary Education, or UPE, in 2006 did not reach Primary 7. This indicates a staggering dropout percentage. And against this background, SNV, UNICEF and the Netherlands have been working together in key areas: school feeding, mentoring of children, and menstrual hygiene management in schools. So joining me in the studio right now to break that situation down for us is Bernard Eyadu. Mr. Bernard Eyadu is the Water and Sanitation Advisor with SNV. First of all, you're welcome, Bernard.
Thank you very much.
What is SNV?
SNV is the Netherlands Development Organization. It has been working in Uganda for 25 years to date. And we are in the area of capacity building, basically in 3 sectors: renewable energy, water, sanitation and hygiene, and agriculture.
All right, then, so how do you connect with this? And I mean, against the background of this report that you have come up with pupil mentoring, what exactly is pupil mentoring?
Until about 3 years ago, SNV was a major player in the education sector. Now, when the education sector was phased out, we continued. That was about the time we're entering into partnership with the UNICEF, the Dutch embassy, and then we had to implement a program which we call Community Empowerment Program. I know UNICEF is a child-focused organization, so then we had to, pupil mentoring was aimed at 1, ensuring that enrollment remains high, 2, pupils complete their primary education, 3, performance is enhanced at national level in the schools we targeted. And it is, in short, it is where pupils are placed under the guidance and support of parents, teachers or members of the community with a good reputation to guide them, to help them understand, value education, and to support them in many ways so that they remain in school and study.
So Bernard, between me and you, we know that there are still pockets in as far as education and pupil mentoring and, you know, the motivation as far as how parents actually value education is concerned. There are still huge pockets. If you can rate your performance so far, how has been, what is the progress? And how bad is the situation of, you know, pupils being, you know, open-minded and daft?
Well, the problem is extremely big. You'll find in P1, there are 100 pupils. In P2, they get to 90. P3, 80. P5, they stabilize maybe 75. When they reach P5, they drop to 30. P6, 20. P7, 15. So that is, and then you see the performance in our schools. Really, most of the schools we work in are, they are ranked, the performance is less than, 0%. 0% get Division 1, Division 2 in most areas. So the pupil mentoring was aimed at bringing the pupils from Division 3 so that we improve Division 1, Division 2, and get away with the Division X and Division U.
So what, according to your findings, is propelling or bringing about this state of affairs in schools?
I think the biggest issue is family. From our experience working with the pupils, with the mentoring program, one of the issues is we target parents, people who are academically poor, but you will find that the origin of the problem is home. Secondly, the issue of a parent and pupils, parents and teachers, they didn't know each other. So by bringing them together, they were able to address the issues and help the children with their learning. And of course, completion of the syllabus is another aspect. And there's so many infrastructure, lack of infrastructure in our schools also contributes.
So when you talk about home, what do you mean?
You'll find a child is given a lot of work. Instead of going to be in school, you have to work before you go to school. And you go to school, you don't have anything to eat. While at school, you eat nothing. You don't have scholastic materials, nobody to talk to you, nobody to help, make you feel that education is important. So everything, you're just studying as a routine, but yeah.
Where do you see government involvement? Are you working with government, for example, the Ministry of Education and other arms of government, to try and bring this situation to sanity?
We worked mainly with the education offices in the 7 districts, 8 districts we're working in. Education offices were our contact place, our point of reference. We worked with the center coordinating tutors, PTA and school administration.
Okay, so have you seen any positives since you started? Have the numbers tried to go down, or the situation needs more work to be done?
One thing for sure is that we've had schools that since they started, they never got Division 1. They now have Division 2, they have Division 3. Division 1 and Division 2 have increased, and then Division X have gone down. And I think about 30% of the schools had not gotten any Division 1.
What do we need to do?
I think we need, as a country, to come together and address and make sure that communities participate in the education of their children.
Bernard Ayodu, thank you very much. Bernard Ayodu is from SNV, Water and Sanitation Advisor in that organization, and that is the state of the education in the areas that they're working in. Now, the Uganda Police Force has regularly emphasized community policing as one of the venues through which the public can work with it to curb crime. In light of this, the police in Kampala has today organized a policing exhibition at the railway ground. It's geared at educating the public on the role of the police and the various methods the police uses in fighting crime.
Various police departments are here to show the public what we can do for them. The public needs to know what various departments, how can they benefit them. For instance, the dog section, how can you utilize it? It can be used in many things, as the various departments can show, maybe to track thugs, maybe to arrest criminals who have cocaine or contraband things. Fire department, today is an opportunity for members of the public, the common person, to ask, how do I get fire services if I have a problem of fire? And we shall exchange telephone contacts. All of the departments, the traffic is here, they will tell you about breath analyzers, they will tell you about the speed trap, so that everybody appreciates what the police can do. And we also want to hear from the public, what are their challenges with the police?
That's it on the police, and we're now going to take a short break. NTV at 1 comes back shortly with more stories making headlines so far this afternoon.
Use White Star Laundry Bar Soap with a lemon fragrance and you'll have a fresh, clean day. Be like a star. Use White Star. White Star Laundry Bar Soap. All day fresh clean.
Indulge your senses, tame the thirst. It's best and good.
We have fun time. Fun all the time.
Ariel claims to give us the best stain removal in one wash. So we'll collect tough stains, red sand, fruit juice, chocolate ice cream, to see which gives the best stain removal in one wash. We'll wash one half with Ariel and the other with premium detergent. Did the other premium detergent remove these stains? And Ariel? Yes! Ariel, best stain removal in one wash.
On the next episode, brought to you by...
At Orange, we know you want to do more on the internet. That's why we bring you happy hour day and night.
Destiny River.
I'm asking you, please don't leave, Manuela. Don't leave this house. Don't leave me alone with your father, please.
Solano will die. Nothing can stop this.
It's not right. Nor fair. Listen, Grandpa.
I don't care. I don't care.
My boy...
I might need your help. It will have to be more effective. More...
You can download movies at the lowest prices and never fast from Orange. Dial *133# to buy a data bundle. Happy hour changes with Orange. Today changes with Orange.
Welcome back to NTV at One. Now, experts say that the newly introduced value-added tax of 18% on the transaction of cooking gas products may slow down the access and use of cleaner energy. And just like several other units, the current financials saw a raft of levies introduced, in particular agricultural inputs and machinery, among others. Parliament, however, has since removed excess duty of 200 shillings on kerosene, through which government was seeking to generate 15 billion shillings in a new revenue stream.
Well, is that the market is huge, that 90% of the population can be able to buy your gas. But also, on the other side, that the market is constrained, that only 0.5% of the population is using gas. Now, when you try to look at the government introduction of value-added tax on gas itself, it has made it a little bit expensive, even to the people who are buying it. And that one still becomes a challenge as well, that people will look at it as being very expensive. So a challenge in accessing gas in the country as a whole still remains a problem. The challenge of starting an LPG business still remains a problem.
The World Health Organization has said the Ebola epidemic that has killed 2,811 people in West Africa has been contained in Senegal and Nigeria. The United Nations Health Agency says that Senegal has not reported any new cases of the virus since the first case was reported on August 29th. And while the last case reported in Nigeria was on September 8th. This is the update. The World Health Organization statement said, on the whole, the outbreaks in Senegal and Nigeria are pretty much contained. The incubation period for Ebola is 21 days, and double that time must pass without new cases arising before a country can be deemed transmission-free. Both Senegal and Nigeria implemented strict measures to isolate the ill and track down further possible cases. Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone have failed to impose such toys, allowing the disease to take hold. The announcement comes as Nigerian students prepare to return to school after an enforced summer break because of Ebola. However, the World Health Organization says the world's worst outbreak of the virus remains a public health emergency of international concern. The agency also says a total of 5,864 people had been infected in 5 West African countries as of September 18th and had claimed 181 lives since the last death toll of 2,630 was issued on September 14th. Guinea, where the outbreak began at the start of the year, and neighboring Liberia and Sierra Leone by far account for most of the cases and continue to see ballooning numbers. Liberia has been hit hardest with 1,578 deaths from 3,022 cases. The spread of the disease has threatened to undo progress made in rebuilding Liberia and Sierra Leone after their wars in the 1990s and exposed the fragility of the state in Guinea. And the United States has said it and its allies have begun bombing positions held by Islamic State of Iraq and Levant in Syria.
Our objective is clear. We will degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL through a comprehensive and sustained counterterrorism strategy.
The first such attack since forming a coalition to confront the group.
Let's have now a look at what's happening in the world of sport. Roger Federer has replaced Rafael Nadal in the inaugural International Premier Tennis League lineup. And in football, Arsenal right back Matteo Debuchy will be out for about 3 months after undergoing surgery on an ankle injury.
This week's fixtures see sides involved in European tournaments enter the fray, with Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Everton and Hull City in action. Middlesbrough visit 8-time winners Liverpool, while Tottenham Hotspur and Nottingham Forest will meet on Wednesday. A notable fixture sees an all-Premier League clash between Arsenal and Southampton. The Gunners will be looking to extend their strong record against their visitors in the competition. Arsene Wenger's men have never lost to Saints in the League Cup, winning 4 and drawing 2 of their 6 meetings. Rafael Nadal has withdrawn from the inaugural event as he plans to use the off-season to prepare for 2015 after a year interrupted by injuries. Federer was cautious when the event was first announced, but has been confirmed in the Delhi-based Indian Aces team. The event begins on the 28th of November and involves current and former players, including Andy Murray, Serena Williams, Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. Nadal has been out of action since Wimbledon with a wrist injury and plans to return in Beijing next week before playing in Shanghai, Basel, Paris and the ATP World Tour Finals in London.
That's in sports, and it brings NTV at One to a close. Thank you very much for watching. We're now going to cross over to the sports desk, and David Rumansi, Aaron Darren and the team will bring you the fixtures, updates and all the news from across the world in the sports discipline. But don't forget to download NTV Movie on your Google Play, and you could win yourself lots of gifts, including hampers and motorbikes. And this is how you do it. Just look on your screen. The winning numbers will be coming, and send those numbers to code 6 and you'll definitely be a winner for the day. That's it on NTV at 1. Have a good afternoon.